Hey, grade 5, Dr. O here, and here we are again talking about our bio essays. Yesterday we learned quite a bit about Wangari Maathai, and your assignment required you to write down some of the things Wangari had done in her lifetime to help her country, her culture, and the world in general. So I hope you're able to complete that mission. We'll spend some more time on Wangari. So if you had a hard time remembering some of the things she did, that's okay. We'll get back to that. But I'm going to talk about the setup of your essay itself in your notebook, I should say, on a piece of paper. So what I want you to do right now is to grab a notebook and a pencil. I'll give you a few seconds here. I'll give you about 30 seconds, a minute or so, somewhere in there, to go grab those things, and we're going to set up our page. So I'll stop here for a moment and let you get that organized. Those of you who might have a notebook right nearby, what you can do is just take a look at the setup of my page. Hopefully you can read it. And while we wait until everybody is ready to roll. If you need to, just pause this video and grab your notebook. That's another option. So we'll wait a moment or two. Okay, so again, you could have paused if you needed to. So that being said, so if you see my page here, I've set this up, and this is a format for an essay, a potential format. And so if you recall when I mentioned what an essay could include, first of all, one of the things I mentioned was a catchy title, catchy, introduction. And I chose Amazing Ladies, and I'm referring, of course, to Wangari Maathai and Jane Goodall. In addition, we're all going to be using initially the same initial statement, topic sentence, I should say, or thesis statement to begin our essay. And so you see I've written it out, and I want you to pay close attention to the way it's written. First of all, if you notice my sentence beginning of a paragraph, it's indented, right? Now our essay is going to be it'll be one paragraph, right? But an essay could be multiple paragraphs. Ours is going to be one. You see that I wrote the title. Let's get back to the title for a moment. Amazing Ladies, capitalized on that top line. I put my name on the top line in the right, and I like to put mine outside the margin. The margin's that red line there, right? I call that out of bounds in my Super Bowl writing system. And then, of course, the date. Then you see our shared introduction sentence, and again, it begins with, it's indented, and then it begins with Wangari Maathai, and you notice her name is capitalized. It's a proper noun. So what I'd like you to do is write out this sentence the same exact way Dr. O did. So as you see, Wangari Maathai and Jane Goodall both dedicated their lives towards improving our world, but they did it in different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back a little bit. Actually, I'll turn my camera. It gives you a little better view, and hopefully you can read that. Write that sentence, indent that sentence, write from margin to margin. That's the light red line you see on either side of your page. So you're setting up your notebook for your rough draft essay. Again, Wangari Maathai, M-A-A, 2 A's, T-H-A-I, and Jane Goodall, 2 L's on Goodall, both dedicated their lives. Notice how I spelled their, T-H-E-I-R. It's the lives they own, in a sense, towards improving our world, but they did it in different ways. Make sense? Okay, so that's your introductory statement. So leave that there for the moment, and that's all you need to do. So now I'm going to flip my camera around. So the way you're going to set up your page is something like this. We had decided to compare and contrast these two women and the things they did, because they both helped the world. There's no question about it. And they did it in different ways, which is awesome. So if you see here, I put compare on the side in the margin, and then I started a potential sentence or sentences with Wangari. So for example, you might write, if you're comparing something they did, Wangari Maathai, started the Green Belt movement to plant trees and prevent deforestation. Jane Goodall also worked diligently in the Kenyan community to eliminate deforestation to protect chimpanzees. So that is a comparison. It's something they both did that was related. They both fought deforestation. So again, I give an example here. Again, this is just an initial setup. I repeat again, Wangari and Jane. So you see here, we had the first example I gave you regarding deforestation, and this may apply to some other element. That's going to be up to you. Then we're going to contrast. Like, what are the things they did different? Wangari focused on planting trees and helping people get jobs, while Jane focused on the study of chimps so people would have better knowledge of chimpanzees. So that would be the contrasting situation between these two ladies. And then you might have another contrasting element. Then I actually created an ending statement, and we talked about in essays that wrap-up statement has to be pretty important to wrap things up together, connecting back to your original topic or thesis statement at the beginning. And you see, I wrote, as you can see, Jane and Wangari took different approaches to make our world a better place. Wangari, and then I left it open. You can write whatever you'd like. Jane, whatever you like. And in the end, they both achieved their goal. Amazing ladies. So I connected it back to your title. Okay, so that's how your essay is going to shape up. The only thing you're expected to do at this very moment is to write this in your notebook, your topic sentence. That's all you need to do for the moment, and then watch the video that tells you, revisits and tells you more, again, about Jane Goodall. Following that video, you're going to be expected to, in your Schoology, in your Schoology section related to writing, you're going to write about some of the things Jane did. So yesterday you wrote about what Wangari did. Today you're going to remind yourselves, revisit the things Jane did. Then later, when we write our essays, we'll combine that all together. Have some fun.